See, this was live. We'd be fucked right now.
We get that dude.
Yeah.
It's what they like. They like the controversial shit.
Yeah. But we're trying to be controversial without
Being.
like we're trying to be controversial, but not do anything that like do it in a way that people can't really say anything bad about us, right?
Yeah.
Like we're saying controversial shit, we can't say I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's no, but like the thing is, people nowadays, especially, they base their opinions whether you're a good or a bad person on what you do. Like snowflakes.
Yeah.
If you say something controversial, they will.
No, it's
spread
not even
it.
that. It's if you say or do anything that doesn't agree with their opinion,
Yeah, exactly.
then you're a bad person.
Then you're a bad
Like, you're not allowed
person.
to have if you have a different opinion, you're a bad person these days.
And they will spread that around. Like
Yeah.
they will make sure that everyone.
But look at this guy. He doesn't think like us. Let's cancel
Yeah,
him,
exactly.
fucking block him from everywhere.
Exactly.
They want everyone to think the same.
They do. And it's in a way it's kind of like a cult, because if you don't think that way, you're ousted to the world, and you're ousted in a bad way. Because
Yeah.
most people nowadays think.
You know what I think? I think people who are in cults are actually ones who aren't in cults. I think the regular, like normal people are the ones in cult, because that's the biggest fucking cult, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks the fucking same. You're told do this, do that, right? It's a fucking cult.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like you all go to fucking school, you all fucking do exactly as you're told, and you don't have any choice. You know, like you just follow whatever you're told, right?
And if you don't do it, then where are you?
What's the
gonna end up in
definition of
society?
a cult? Let me search it up right now.
Yeah. No, but think about it. If you don't go to school, you don't do what you're told. Where are you gonna end up? in
If
society?
you go against the grain, that means you're getting out of the cult.
Yeah.
Like
When you
people,
get out of
like
the
they'll
cult,
call
there's
people
always
who are going against the grain
repercussions.
like occultists and all this and that, and say that you're like whatever. But no, like the regular society is the fucking cult.
Yeah, but like when you get out of any cult, there's always repercussions. Like you might be killed, you might be followed, whatever.
Yeah, it's the same. Like if you try to
Where are you
escape the
gonna end
matrix,
up
you're
in
trying to go against the
society?
grain.
Yeah.
They're gonna silence you. They're gonna try like, they're gonna make life as hard as they fucking can for you.
Exactly, and they're gonna silence you. And where would you like getting out of this grade? Where do you end up in society? You haven't gone to school.
Yeah.
Like everything is based off of a cult. When you're young, you go to school, then you get a job, you work your ass off, 9 to 5, and you make close to minimum wage, unless you go into a job that takes 16 years.
Yeah. The three main characteristics of a cult. The group is focused on a living leader. To whom members seem to display excessively zealous, unquestioning commitment. Like most countries, there's a leader, there's people who control the world, and people follow them without questioning anything.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't
Just do
question
what
why
they
you
say.
go to school. You
That's
don't
the
question
first
why you get a
characteristic.
job. You don't question why you go to college.
Yeah. The group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. They're trying to promote everything, right? All this bullshit you see on social media, all this like OnlyFans, all like the bullshit you see on TikTok. They're trying to promote that shit to you. They're trying to brainwash you. They're trying to insert certain ideologies in your mind, right?
Yeah. Even nowadays, like what I mean by it, the people that have those thoughts,
Yeah.
the people who are like, oh, if you don't believe
And
this, then you're a bad person. They're
The
also
third characteristic, the group is preoccupied with making money.
Oh
That just describes normal fucking society,
yeah.
right? They're focused. They have a living leader, and they express unquestioning commitment. The group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. They're trying to promote you, always trying to brainwash you with TikTok, social media, all that bullshit. And they're preoccupied with making money. You go to school, get a 9 to 5, all that shit, and you become a slave to fucking money.
And you don't question shit. You don't question why you go to school,
Yeah.
why you go to college, why you go to university, fucking why you get a job after. You don't question it because it's all what the leader says.
Yeah.
It's all what's forced in the code.
But even though they're all preoccupied with making money, they're in that cult, like they haven't escaped the matrix because they're preoccupied with making money because their life depends on it, right?
Yeah.
Like if they don't get that next paycheck, they're done, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why they're still stuck. But there's only two ways to escape from that, right? To make money mean nothing to you, Because if money means nothing to you, then you're not a part of that trap.
Then
right?
you're free.
So there's only two ways. Either make so much of it in excessive amounts that it loses its value to you and it's like kind of like everything's just fucking free.
Yeah.
Or you just live a complete, like, you just live life without any fucking money. Like in a fucking village or some shit. Or like, I don't know, in a fucking jungle, you know?
Yeah.
Like live like a fucking monk or some shit. Like, those are the two ways to fucking escape that shit. Because you have to make money meaningless to you.
Once you take away the materialistic items in your world, you take away every single materialistic item in your world, you will understand that it has no value, no importance.
Yeah.
Like it's something, it's not a necessity, it's something you want.
Yeah.
It's a desire to
But
have
the
it.
unfortunate reality is that we can think of these hypothetical scenarios as much as we want, but the fact is, like, all material shit is here to stay, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. Like, the world's gonna be like this, right? There's not much we can do to change it because most people don't even want to fucking change, right?
Yeah.
You can't change the world if no one's willing to change. There's only a select few people who are actually willing to change or willing to get out of that system, and they're the ones who will succeed. They're the ones who will live the best lives and the
Like,
most fulfilling lives, right?
Even if you think about it, and this is like an example just from the top of my head, Jake Paul
Mm-hmm.
moved to LA when he was like, what, 17?
Mm-hmm.
Got a job at Disney, got out of the system, dropped out of school. Think of where he is now, his boxing career, how much money he's made. At such a young age as well, that's more than most people would make in their
But on the
lives.
other hand, you can also say he's a puppet to the media.
He's a puppet to the media, but he got out of the system.
He got out of the system, but
He got into
as a side effect of him getting out of the system, when you develop that amount of fame and you get to that certain level in life, there's certain entities that try to come to attack you, right?
Yeah.
Or they want to take control of you, right? The people who control the world want to portray this agenda to the world, who want to, create this fucking trap to put you in the fucking rat race and all 9 to 5 bullshit.
Yeah.
They need people with large amounts of influence to, spread that word.
Yeah.
So they try to threaten people with, high status or people who have a large influence, or they try to get them on their side,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, he's escaped in that sense, but he escaped, but now he's trapped again,
But in that theory,
right?
isn't everyone who's gonna escape? Everyone, like even if you don't have a big influence, there's always gonna be someone trying to get you back into that system,
Yeah, of course.
and it's always gonna be like that.
Yeah.
It's just whether or
But
not
you can
listen.
give into it or you can
Yeah.
say no, right?
It's
You have to be
whatever
careful
it is.
about it. Because once you get to a certain level in life, there are some things you have to be careful about.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're gonna attract the wrong type of attention.
Yeah. But
Because
you're
now
al-
people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul and all of them, like, they can't even say what they actually think.
Yeah.
They're told what to say. They have like a script.
But that's because they gave in.
Yeah, they gave in.
And if they didn't give in,
Because they threatened them. They're like, oh, if you don't say this, we're gonna delete your fucking YouTube accounts and shit and all that, right? Because the mistake they made, a lot of their fucking income source and like their life is dependent on these like social media platforms and things like that, right? If they get removed from that, they have nothing left,
yeah.
right? So now they can use that against them. So you have to make sure that your life doesn't depend on those things.
Yeah.
Because those things they can easily like use that against you.
But then again, when you have that much fame, when you have that much influence, whether or not that goes away, that shouldn't be important. That shouldn't be relevant to you.
Yeah, it shouldn't be relevant.
I like your ring, by the way.
Which one?
Both of them.
Right, these are like $2 each.
For real?
Yeah, I got them at like some fucking supermarket.
They're sick though.
But a lot of the best shit is like in thrift stores and like shit that's like not even that expensive.
Yeah, most people, the reason they buy expensive shit is because they want to look rich.
Yeah, they just want to look rich.
You're not
right?
rich,
It's like a
you're
status
someone-
symbol, but really, people who are actually rich know that you're just broke and you spent all your last savings, like your fucking birthday money or some shit. You work your ass off like mowing the lawn or some shit, and now you went and bought this fucking like Gucci like handbag or some shit.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
poor people want the status of looking rich.
Hmm?
Poor people want the status of looking rich because they
Yeah.
think it gives you superiority.
It doesn't. It's an illusion. It's an illusion of being rich, right? Because they don't understand what it actually means to be rich.
Yeah.
They can't comprehend it, right? Because they never even thought of trying to be rich. They haven't even thought of what the benefits would be. Like, like of course you'd be rich, you can buy whatever you want, but there's other benefits, right?
Yeah.
They haven't thought about that. They haven't thought about how would someone who is rich think, right? They haven't thought about that. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna get rich. Okay, but if you want to become rich, you have to think like a rich person.
And that's
If you
what
do
you're
shit
talking
rich people
about.
would
You're
do.
talking about the rich mindset.
Yeah.
Like how you can adapt that.
Yeah, you have to develop the mindset first before actually becoming rich.
Yeah. And even nowadays, people are like, oh, I don't want to do this shit, I just want to get rich. Then why are you doing anything about it?
Yeah.
Like you have the time, you just don't have the productivity. And you don't have the discipline to actually go out and do what you want because it's too much effort.
A lot of like really rich people, like if you ask them what their line of work is or what they do, they'll tell you like some super boring shit like, oh, I'm into like fucking like consulting, or like I own a fucking, who knows, like a oil company or some shit like that. Like shit that's like super boring, right?
Yeah.
But that's where all the fucking money is. It's in
Yeah.
that type of shit, right? And that's a good thing. It's a good thing that that's where they get their money from, because they have other passions, right? But now, since their passion isn't what's making their main income, their passion is more sacred. They
Yeah.
can, like, you don't have to, like, see, like, when you take a passion and you, like, try to make that your income or your career,
You take the passion out of it.
you take the passion out of it, right? Because now it becomes like work.
Yeah. Now it's
I
something
really think
you're
like you
forced
should
to do.
separate work and your passions.
Yeah. Because now it's something you're forced to do. And now it's something you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I have to do this.
Yeah.
It's not like something else.
And most of the times your passions aren't gonna make you that much money.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I fucking love skateboarding, right? Being a pro skateboarder isn't gonna get me nowhere in life,
Yeah.
right? There's only one or two skateboarders I know who are actually fucking rich, but like Nigel Houston,
Yeah.
he's like the richest skateboarder. Yeah. He probably got rich not even just because of skateboarding. He probably used that money, invested it into like smart assets.
That is so sick though.
Hmm?
He's sick though.
What?
He's a sick skater.
Oh yeah, he is. A lot of people hate on him.
I don't
People
get
hate
it.
on Magic Houston.
They hit on him because he's
of-
famous.
Yeah, like they hate on him because he's rich and famous, right? Like, bro, these NPCs, bro, like they hate on him because he's rich because they think he's like a sellout, right?
Yeah.
Because like he does these competitions and like he's in the Olympics and all that shit, so they think he's a sellout. But nah, bro, you're just fucking jealous because if you had the same opportunities as him, you would take it up in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. A lot of times you're only hating on them because they have it and you don't.
Yeah. And it's the power of desire. It takes over your mind. If something has something, or if someone has something, you,
Like, poor people are only mad at rich people because they're not rich.
yeah, exactly.
And see, the thing is, if you're mad at rich people or if you don't like rich people, but you're always complaining about how you're broke and shit, guess what? You're never gonna be rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't even like rich people. Why would you? Life will not give you those opportunities
And
because
you're
you don't even
wasting-
like that shit.
You're wasting so much time complaining about being broke.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything to get rich.
Yeah.
And you're not using your time productively. And it brings it back to the rich mindset. You have to think like a rich person to become a rich person.
Yeah. It doesn't just happen like that.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of hard work. Some people just aren't prepared to work hard.
Yeah. Like, people think going to school and all that is hard work. No, that's not hard work. That's just boring fucking work.
Yeah.
You feel like it's hard work because deep down you know you're being fucking useless and you're wasting your time and there's so much better things you could do with your life.
Yeah.
Deep down everyone knows that, right?
When you work hard,
That's why it feels like it's hard work.
Yeah.
But really, bro, school isn't hard work.
it's not hard work.
If you enjoyed school, that shit would be easy as fuck. Or if you like thought it was really fucking useful deep down,
Yeah.
bro, that should be easy as fuck for you.
Exactly. But once you start working hard in something that you're invested in, that's when it becomes not hard work, Well, it'll become hard work, but it'll become easy work because you're not bored.
It won't feel like work. It'll feel like, you know,
Something you're passionate about.
yeah, but then again, see, I believe you should separate work and passion,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
You shouldn't be passionate about your work.
yeah, your passion shouldn't become your work,
Yeah.
but you should be passionate about your work.
Yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
mean it's your passion, but
Because if you're not passionate, if you're not invested in your work, then you're not doing the best.
see,
work.
it's not about being passionate about your work. I just made money my passion, making money my passion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you make making money your passion, then every type of business falls under that. So that even if you're like, I don't know, doing fucking like any of those boring ass businesses, you enjoy it. Why? Because you're making money,
Yeah.
right?
And that's why so many people after they've graduated university, after they like stop doing school, once they start working, they're so much happier because they know they're getting a paycheck out of it. They
Yeah.
know that they're making money from something that they're doing.
Yeah. But also, I think
It's not useless.
a lot of these like fucking like new age like entrepreneur like gurus and shit,
Yeah.
like they try to, and all these people who are trying to like help people escape the matrix, a lot of them like they try and like change the whole fucking world,
Yeah.
but that's never gonna happen. Why? Because and first of all, that did happen, the world wouldn't fucking work. Like bro, it just wouldn't fucking work, right? Because there's gonna be a certain amount of people at the top.
Yeah.
There's always a hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
And if everyone was a fucking king, who the fuck is gonna work in your companies? Who the fuck is gonna like, you know, help you out with all that shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like even people in the 1%, they need fucking employees for their businesses. They need like someone's gotta do that shit. Someone's gotta clean the fucking river. Someone's gotta, you know, take the trash away.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta fucking yeah, like someone's gotta build the fucking buildings.
Yeah. Because if you don't have that, you don't have a running
Yeah,
working
so
society.
there's always going to be a hierarchy there, and there can only be a certain amount of people at the top.
And I don't understand people who are trying to abolish that hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like there's a
You can't
hierarchy
change
for a
everyone, and
reason.
you shouldn't, because in fact, if you change everyone, then that just makes it harder for you to fucking make it to the top, right? If there's more people trying to make it to the top, then it's just harder for you to get to the top because you have more competition.
Yeah, exactly. And society nowadays is run by greed. People are greedy. If you try to abolish the hierarchy, if you're like communist, socialist,
Yeah.
then society isn't gonna run because people want more. People want the hierarchy because they want more.
Yeah.
And you can't just complain when you're broke, being like, I want to abolish the hierarchy, I want everyone to have the same thing, just because you're not doing anything about being broke.
Yeah. They want everyone to think the same.
Yeah.
They want everyone to think like see, if a lot of people started waking up and started thinking outside of the box, and they started like, you know, thinking for themselves, they started trying to get to the top, the moment you even start thinking about that, you instantly become a threat to the people in power.
Yeah.
That's why they want to keep you dumb. They want to make sure that you don't learn about what's actually going on. They want to make sure that you stay depressed, you stay fucking like suicidal, you stay like unhealthy, fat, and you know, taking your fucking meds like you're told, following like getting a job and shit. Because the moment you start realizing that it's all bullshit, and the moment you start trying to get out of it and making something out of yourself and making a better life for yourself and people close to you, at that very moment you become a dangerous threat to the people in power.
And that's
Because it
why-
only takes one person who escaped and made it to the top, to the same level as the people who are controlling the world, to fucking go against them and destroy them.
Yeah. And people are always gonna try and come down on them and destroy that
Yeah.
one person. So that they're.
I mean, I don't think it'd be done by just one person, but if
Yeah.
a lot of people did that, bro, the people in power would lose their power.
No, but even one person, they have the influence to make more
Yeah.
people do the same thing.
Exactly, they have the influence to
And that's
create
why-
that fucking uprising.
But that's one thing I don't agree with. Medication. When you're being prescribed medication for like depression, anxiety, I believe that everyone in their lives they will experience depression in some way, at some point, and they'll experience anxiety. It's what you do
Yeah.
with it.
See,
If you learn.
if I went to this is why I never went to like a psychiatrist or anything, because,
Yeah.
bro, take a fucking person who thinks they're happy, thinks they're like they don't think they have depression. Like, I don't think I'm depressed. I don't think I have any of that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But if I go to a fucking psychiatrist right now, they're gonna give me this huge ass fucking list of things like, oh, you have this mental disorder and like all this bullshit. Like, bro, have you ever heard of someone who went to psychiatrist and they said, oh, you don't have any mental issues?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No, but
They always come up with something. And why? Because then they can prescribe you their fucking medication.
Yeah.
Oh, go buy this, right?
And they
It'll
will-
make you feel better. And then you can't live without it. And then you go out and you buy more. And they're just making money. It's some fucking money machine.
And
And
they will-
therapists, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
no,
not
no.
done. Therapists, bro. When you go there, they literally fucking scam you. Because all you do is they sit there and they just ask you questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're just so fucking lonely in life that like you can't even live with yourself, so you have to go to someone else and let them and like talk all your feelings out to them, and like you just get so like self-absorbed with them asking you questions, so you just like spill out everything, and the more you talk and the more questions you answer, the more time passes,
Yeah.
and they're paid by the hour.
And in a way, therapists, psychiatrists, they're their own little cult. Because
Yeah.
you go to a therapist,
The more you talk, the more
they
you get paid.
pinpoint at your problems,
Yeah.
at the little things, and they're like, "Oh, you're fucking depressed. I'm gonna send you to this guy. He's gonna prescribe you some pills."
And then that guy's gonna be like, oh, well, actually, you need the anxiety medication. So I guess we something must have gone wrong. There's an error in the system. You don't actually have schizophrenia. You just have anxiety. So now go to this doctor. I know you've been buying these schizophrenic meds for like 5 years now, and you're addicted. But sorry, bro. Now go somewhere else. You gotta buy these new other meds.
Yeah.
And by that time, you're already addicted to 10 different fucking meds,
The FDA,
and you're spending half your salary on that shit.
you know, the FDA at the start of doing like actual tests on antidepressants, they realized that it helps for 2 weeks, and that's like the placebo effect, yeah. And then
Yeah.
after that, your mental health, whatever's in those pills, it goes down so much that you keep taking them.
Yeah, because without the pills now, you don't know how else to deal with it, because those pills now cure your problem, right?
Yeah.
So if you stop taking them, then
You're
your
just gonna
problem
be
comes
fucking
back. It just
depressed.
comes back. It all comes back, right?
You're gonna be fucking depressed again.
Yeah.
But I really do believe everyone in their life, they will go through depression, they'll go through
Yeah.
anxiety
See,
at some point.
depression always thinks they're not real, right? Because all in your head is all your
Yeah.
thoughts. It's your thoughts and your feelings, and you are not your thoughts and you're not your feelings.
And if you look back like 50 years, there was no label for like depression or anxiety. It was just something you felt. There was
Yeah.
no medication for it because there didn't have to be. You dealt with it and you got on with your life.
Yeah. Like, people choose to cling on to certain things. Once you put that label on it, then it becomes you.
Exactly.
Right? That's why I don't go to any of this fucking therapists all that, because they'll put a label on you.
Yeah.
And that's how they fucking get you.
They put a label on you and
And then that
prescribe
becomes
you
you.
some
Because
shit.
see, there's different parts to the human, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone feels depressed. Feeling depressed is real, but the act, like, the fact of like being depressed,
Having depression.
like having it, like, it's not like you can't have depression, right? You didn't just catch it like a disease, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's bullshit. You feel depressed, but feelings are supposed to pass through you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hold on to
And
them,
you're
right?
supposed to get through them. There are people that.
If you
Yeah.
never feel depressed in your life, maybe now you have some fucking mental issue, right?
Exactly. No, but there are people who orient their entire lives over, oh shit, I'm depressed. Like, I've been prescribed for depression. I have pills for depression. That's their entire
Yeah.
life. And that's all they talk about. And it's just bullshit.
See, depression is a lame excuse for
Not being productive. Not
for
doing
being
shit with your life.
incapable,
Yeah.
right? It's a lame excuse for not being capable of a lot of things, right? Not being capable to take care of your family, not being capable to get the fuck out of bed and do what needs to be done, not being capable to work, like not being capable to fucking, like get your shit together.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people like they'll be like, oh, you keep complaining about being broke, but why why aren't you rich? Why aren't you trying to do anything? They're like, oh, see, I have depression or some shit, like
exactly. And
if it's a disease,
everyone
like-
has things that they don't want to do. When I wake up, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to school.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, I should go to a fucking psychiatrist and get depression and use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
And people who are labeled as depressed, they use
I mean,
it
honestly,
as
if
an
you're trying to
excuse.
get out of school, that could be like a good way to like fucking like like use
Use
your
the
excuse to get
fucking
out of it.
system.
But you have to be on like that higher level of knowing that you're only doing it because of like for a tactical
Yeah.
reason, right?
Because
You're
there
doing it
are
strategically,
people-
like you know that's all
Yeah.
bullshit, but you're going there to get prescribed like strategically to like try and get out of fucking school or some bullshit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There are like if you wake up sad, you wake
Now,
up.
that's being smart about. That's using the system against them.
Exactly. But that's the thing. You wake up, you feel sad, you don't want to do the shit that you need to do. Everyone at some point is gonna feel that.
Yeah.
But people who have labeled depression, they use their depression as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm just not gonna fucking get out of bed. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do the shit I need to because I'm depressed.
Yeah, it's not real because it's all in your head. It's your thoughts and your feelings, and you are not your thoughts and your feelings, right? Your thoughts and your feelings are almost like a sixth sense, right?
Yeah.
It's not you. It's like one of your senses, like your sight, your smell, your hearing, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
It's supposed to signify something to you, right? Like for example, when you feel depressed or when you're having all these bad thoughts or some shit or you feel lazy, it's just your body signaling to you that there's something wrong in your life that you need to fix. There's something about your life that you need to change,
Yeah.
right? You don't just sit there and hold on to that feeling and be like, oh, like, I'm depressed, blah, blah, blah. It's like when someone tries to, like, say, for example, a close friend, like, they're seeing that, like, you sit around doing fuck all day, right?
Yeah.
You're throwing your fucking life away. They come and tell you, they're like, bro, you need to get your shit together. You need to fucking, like, you're a piece of shit. You need to work on yourself, right?
Yeah.
You can either choose to focus on the fact that they called you a piece of shit, or you can focus on the fact that, oh shit, I need to actually, they're right. I need to fucking get up and get shit done. I need to get my life together, right? The same thing with your thoughts and feeling depressed and stuff. You can either focus on the fact that you're feeling depressed, or you can actually get the fuck up and like take the greater message and go do something with it.
Exactly. And your thoughts, they're not supposed to bring you down. They're supposed to motivate you. They're supposed to encourage you to
your
do
negative
more.
thoughts are supposed to motivate you.
Yeah. Your negative thoughts, you're supposed to take something out of that, learn from it, and use it.
Yeah.
And not just feel sorry for yourself all day. Sitting in bed being like, why do I feel this way? Learn from it, experience it, and use it to your benefit.
You feel this way because you're a piece of fucking shit. You
And you're
feel
not
like shit
doing it.
because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a
You
piece of
feel like
shit, you
shit
feel
'cause
like
you're
shit.
not doing
right?
anything.
Just don't be a piece of shit. Get up, fucking stop being lazy, stop sitting on TikTok all day, and, try and create a better life for yourself.
Yeah.
If you're fat as fuck, and you're like, why am I depressed? Why am I depressed? Probably because you're fat as fuck, right? Like, if you have like if you're super fucking broke, you're like, why am I depressed? It's probably because you're super fucking broke.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just think about like the simple things in your life that like aren't where they should be at,
Yeah.
and just try and fix it. Like, even small things like, are you drinking enough water in a day?
Yeah.
Right? Are you having enough nutrients like in your body? Like, that can affect like your mood and like how you're feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's simple things where you're just like, oh, I have this fucking disease and I can't control it. No, you can.
You can.
Eat good. Fucking, work on yourself, work on your body, work on your mindset, work on your fucking bank account.
Yeah.
And, bro, like,
And
it's almost impossible to be depressed then.
Yeah. And there's always a reason that you're feeling that way. It doesn't come from nothing. And if it does, then stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get up and do something.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if you keep yourself busy, then it's gonna go
Yeah.
away.
And a lot of these feelings just come up because of boredom
Yeah.
and lack of responsibilities.
If you're bored, if you're staying in bed, if you're not doing anything, of course you're gonna feel depressed because you're not doing anything.
And why are you bored? Because you don't have a greater
Purpose.
goal that you're working towards,
Yeah.
right? You need to have something to work towards. You need to set goals for yourself. Setting goals for yourself is super fucking important.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you end up doing nothing with your whole life, and then you wonder why you're feeling all these emotions, why you're all depressed. And it's because you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's why you shouldn't even have the time to be thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
That's how I got out of fucking depression. But everyone's been depressed before. There was a time when everyone had a time when they thought, oh, I'm fucking depressed, I don't know what to
Yeah.
do, blah, 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 right?
But it's when
But
you
I just started keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
I got too busy to even think about that shit. Like,
And there's so many people who are like, oh, but you shouldn't just keep yourself busy to get through your shit. You have to get through your shit and deal with it.
That's a fucking
It's like-
lie.
It's not.
Keeping yourself busy is dealing with it.
Keeping yourself busy doing something productive, that's what's
is
gonna
dealing
help
with it.
you.
Yeah.
It's not gonna help you to
When you
sit in
start
bed
achieving
think
your
about it
goals,
and
you're not gonna
sorry.
feel that way again.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. You will always, feel depressed at some point, right? Even when you're a fucking millionaire and you got everything in life sorted, you're still gonna feel depressed at some point, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
mean you're depressed. You let those feelings pass through you. Maybe 5 minutes. Oh, I'm a little sad, and then
Exactly.
back to fucking work or some shit. You're never gonna be completely happy. There's no such thing as pure happiness and being happy all the time.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, with the good and the bad, right? Happiness only exists in relation to sadness,
Yeah.
right? It's the same thing. Like, if you were always fucking happy, it loses fucking value. Being happy loses value. Same thing with money. Why are we trying to get super fucking rich? So that money loses its value to us,
Yeah.
right? When you have an abundance of something, its value lessens. And why do we want to lessen the value of money to us? Because the more money is worth something to us, the more trapped we are in the system.
Yeah. And once you do abolish that thing of money's worth everything, money is the value, money's what I'm working toward. Money's always going to be what you're working toward in a way.
Yeah.
But once you abolish that thought of, the most important thing in my life is how much money I make, because money is what I survive off of. If I don't make enough, I'm not going to survive. Then you will be happier.
My goal is not in life is not to be happy. My goal in life is to be the best version of myself, right? And to bring a net benefit to the people around me and to myself, right? Just be more beneficial, more useful to people, and more useful to yourself.
Yeah, and you were always at some point going to feel depressed, always.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a point, no matter what you do, no matter what you try and do to prevent it, you're always going to feel depressed at some point. But
shouldn't even try to
if you
prevent it.
stop your life, if you put your life on pause and feel sorry for yourself and stay in bed just because of that feeling, that's not helping it, that's not making it better, that's making it worse.
And personally, I have zero tolerance for people like that. I don't
Yeah.
feel sorry for people like that. I don't feel bad. It really is just pathetic.
It is pathetic.
And that's fine. Maybe if you're 13 years old, you haven't learned any of these things yet.
Yeah.
That's fine. But if you're fucking 30 years old and you're still doing that shit,
Yeah.
bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's just pathetic.
It is pathetic. No, even if you're look, I believe that when you get to a certain age, you should have a certain sense of knowledge on this.
Yeah.
And
See, a lot of things that. Well, what a lot of people don't consider though is, a lot of things aren't actually in our control. For a lot of people, the way they're raised by their parents, what they're taught in school, that plays a big part in their mindset, right?
yeah.
So, and a lot of people just never end up thinking for themselves, or they don't get the chance to even hear about different ideologies, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all they fucking hear. They don't hear anything different than what everyone else thinks,
Yeah.
right? But then again, there's always gonna be that one person who, even though they don't hear any of that shit, somehow they end up thinking outside the box, even without inspiration from other places.
And there's people who they think they have.
So it's not meant for everyone.
Yeah.
And some people will be happy living in the system, right?
Yeah.
Some people will actually enjoy their lives and live great lives according to them, living in the system, right? And that's fine.
That's their
But
life.
if you can't live in it and then complain about it and then not try to do anything about it.
Exactly. And there are some.
If you're not
people-
complaining about it, fine, go ahead, just fucking chill.
There's some people where they think they have a bad, yeah. They go through a bad experience and their entire life crumbles because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with it.
The only way to overcome a bad experience is to learn the lesson from it.
Yeah.
Because there's always a reason why something's happening to you. Something bad is happening to you. There's a deeper lesson that has to be learned.
Yeah.
And until you learn that lesson from that bad experience, you will keep revisiting that experience your whole life.
Yeah.
right? It'll keep, like, in different ways, you'll experience the same thing over and over and over again until you learn the lesson from it.
And the
That's why
only
people will end up being depressed again and again and again and again until they figure out that the reason why they're depressed is because they haven't done anything with their life.
and the only way to make a bad experience something positive is to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Because then you've learned something from it. It's
The
not-
only way to overcome it is to learn the lesson from it.
Yeah.
Once you learn the lesson from it, there's no need to experience that again. There's no need for life to show you that experience again
Yeah.
because you've learned everything from it.
Exactly. And once you learn from it, you're taking that bad experience and you're putting it to use. It's not for nothing. It's
Yeah,
there,
you
but you
go
learned
through it,
something
right?
from it.